This Sakura map. Sure. It's kind of weird when I don't see casual in the list of game modes. But CSGO stuff is so weird in general because you have, like, you can load into a map and that, like, just as any game mode if you want to, and it doesn't matter. If that makes any sense. Like, you can, if you're in another game with a different game mode, and then you load in
almost every. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but they did it in a way that, like, when you load competitive and you switch between diffuse and hostage, it still works, right?
Yeah, stuff like that. And then I think you can go into deathmatch. The only thing that happens if you load into deathmatch and then change it to casual or competitive is that
The UI breaks.
Oh, it does? Yeah, that's probably true. I was thinking that
I don't know if it still does, but it used to.
Yeah. I was thinking that the issue was the issue was that the UI, not only would the UI break, I guess, but the other problem that I noticed was the you wouldn't change halves. You would just play on the same side the whole time. So it's probably just some server setting that doesn't get reset between the two or something. I don't know. Probably fixable. I see a certain someone has subscribed for 5 months. That's pretty banging. Ooh. Thanks to that person.
Poggers.
Hell yeah. You want to take 1 damage?
Oh, can I get 1 damage? Oh.
Oh, you took 2. Too slow.
Well, yeah.
What happened to poLemin's movement? He's washed.
I don't know. Kind of delayed. I don't know.
Yeah, it is delayed damage. I think it's the same thing as on cash. And then you need 3 jumps to get up here for some reason. Oh, maybe only in one spot is not clipped off or something. Oh, I see. If I'm crouched, I can't move. That's weird. Oh, no. It is just like bits of them are.
Oh, it's because of the.
Yeah. If you like walk backwards and then try to walk forwards on the ramp or on that bit. Anyway, I guess we could just get started here. So we have Sakura by Biggie Nex. Biggie Nex feels to me like some weird, like, obscure insult.
I like it. I like the name.
Yeah, it's got power to it. It's got a statement. So we'll go ahead and warm up ends real quick. So we've got this man. That's an important note.
It's not Fnatic.
Yeah, Fnatic must have playtested this map. Confirmed. So interestingly, we have a massive like line of sight already, but I'm looking at the minimap here, so I'm kind of cheating and getting ahead of myself. But the CT spawn area has a very different look. Like it's much farther away from this. So I think the T's would get to around here. We can do the timing test later on, but I'm pretty sure the T's would get to around here before like the CTs even showed up. So that's kind of an interesting
Possibly, yeah. Could be a rush timing.
And then you can see over that.
That's a disappointment.
Yeah, that is disappointing. So even this is walled off down here. I feel like there's not much of a risk in opening that up, no? It also just looks intuitively like you'd be able to jump up it.
Yeah.
And then you've got a very well-lit door you can interact with. I would maybe pop the light on it or something.
One of my pet peeves.
Yeah. I think the this is not possible to. Yeah, I would say in general, one of my pet peeves, having played a ton of maps, is you do want to have more. You want to have interactable cover to some extent, right? Like you want to have things that you can actually jump on. Which is why,
jump
like,
on or move around.
Yeah, so like it's cool that you can do this, even though the clipping needs some work. Right, I keep getting stuck holding W. But it feels like that's the only spot you can do it, and it might be the least consequential spot of them all.
Yeah, it doesn't do much for you.
Yeah. It doesn't look like
you can... This is... Oh, you can boost me up here.
Yeah, okay,
but
you need a boost.
Still, I feel like I have no influence into the rest of the map. Really,
you would boost up here to hold for a long push or something, like, or if this is mid, I guess a mid push, or the wrap.
Yeah, but come up here. Like, you don't see very far.
Oh, okay.
They would need to push up very, very far.
Oh yeah, because this is not. Can't break the window there.
Like, I only need to stand here, and I can already cover the entire road.
Yeah, true.
And you can't see me at all.
So this almost feels like an afterthought as well, in a way, or not an afterthought. Just it's a byproduct of the way that the level design is put together, but it doesn't actually matter as much. It's mostly negative space that by
according
chance
to the sorry, according to the minimap, I think it's not even intended. So
okay,
we should disregard that.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it just feels like there's there's not very many details so far in terms of props and stuff that are on here, but the ones that are here, you would want to be able to interact with. I don't mind the, oh, there's even some, you don't even have to jump to get up here. There's some invisible clipping. I would probably put something down there to signify that, but...
Yep, I agree.
I do think that it's
all
nice.
The way up?
Yeah, I think it's nice that you don't have to jump up at all. This is one of those things where people, sort of like on Mirage into apartments before they changed it, people are going to jump 100%. They're going to think they have to jump here, and that's probably going to slow down. It's only 2v2, so it doesn't matter as much. But
what I don't understand here, though, is if that's so smooth and you can just silently, without jumping, get up here, why is there the ladder as well?
I imagine that's because if both T's are going here, then you want to be able to.
Or you can like double peek.
Yeah, so you can both charge up at the same time or whatever. It's kind of weird that you can't. Oh, go ahead.
No.
I was just gonna say it's kind of weird you can't like stand on that. Even though it's not very consequential, it just looks intuitively like you'd be able to.
Something you might have missed is that here was a large glass pane. So.
Oh, you broke this.
I found that very interesting that you can get this flank here, but you would give your position away by breaking the glass.
It's kind of interesting because you could imagine a world where a T would, like one T would go here and then another one would maybe go through main or something, or mid, I guess. The problem I see with doing a mid push solo is that there are a lot of angles, so... You would almost prefer to go mid and wrap if you were going to do anything, or two-man through the glass. So yeah, I didn't know that there was the glass there. Where am I?
Where is it? Oh, here.
Got some anime. Got some thanks Yansel. I'm guessing props were used.
Yep. Looks like a bunch of breach props.
Right. So now we get onto the actual site. What's up, Fnugs? Welcome. So onto the site itself.
Gonna plant.
Let's see. You can't plant on any boxes. Can't plant on this. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to open the door and then go behind this as cover, even though it actually I don't even think it would be that impactful because you just Molotov it out or whatever.
Kitchen is on fire. Very fitting.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could probably, as a CT, you could probably smoke that off or something. I don't know. There's ways that you could get around that, I feel like. Let me see if I can plant on... What? Oh, there's some clipping there. I'm guessing I can't, but yeah, I can't plant on here either. I wonder why people are so opposed to having a plant spot on cover. I think it fits. I can't even plant in these chairs.
Well, one of the problems is that often when you still, like, when a bomb is planted, it gives a lot of pressure to the CTs.
Sure.
And when you then don't find the bomb because it's on top of this this box, it feels very frustrating to lose a round because of that.
Yeah, I just feel like in this case there's
you could hear it and run around this little box and not realize that it's on top of it.
Right, yeah, so that would be like a height adjustment thing probably. I was just thinking like, and this is not specific to this map either, but I imagine being able to plant the bomb, if you can get to a very particular angle that requires you to be massively open like this and stay here long enough to plant the bomb, and it obviously requires a bit of movement to get on here, not much, but something. Like, for my money, that's yeah, I guess it's a little bit easier than I thought. It doesn't even need a crouch jump, but for my money, that's like a point where it becomes worth it. Like, it's a kind of a risk reward thing. Like, you risked getting shot during the plant or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can see the counter argument. I think it's kind of funny that we have very minimal cover here, but none of it really can be interacted with in that sense. At the very least, you do have the ability to jump up here. It just feels like another one of those jumps that would be ill-advised, like the jump, the other boosts that we've discovered so far.
Yeah, I think there's some point to be made that I think it's more viable to do these like elevated plants in a wingman map, because usually you don't come into the situation where you have to fake the bomb defuse.
Yeah.
And then like get out, like you're out of position because you're on top of this box. Usually the round is already done at that point.
Yeah, fair enough.
And you killed your opponent.
I'm taking a look at CT spawn right now, and it looks like there are 2 different entrances you can go up. You can go towards the breach asset room, the window pane, and that elevated position can then be used to rotate over here, which is fine. I saw you were doing this and then like trying to take aim over here. I could imagine an Opper doing something like that, but okay, yeah, I can see you over the ferns.
It's a little bit messy with the foliage.
Yeah. Agreed.
But I don't dislike the idea that you have to like nail this jump to get up here in time.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was just about to say, is like it does feel
I suppose
a bit...
you can't do it in time, but there would be something.
It feels a bit restrictive in that sense. Like, what else? How else would you want to peek? I guess you would have to flash.
Yeah.
Like you would have to flash over just to peek from here, and then, like at that point, again the T's could be anywhere. I guess we can do the quick timing test if you want to.
Sure.
I'll be where we'll just move in like 5 seconds at 50-15.
Okay, towards the water.
Yeah, towards mid. So yeah, you're already to the truck.
Yep.
I'm still... Yeah, you pass. You actually can cross to the truck before I even see you. That's pretty tough as a CT. I have to assume, because I feel like...
You can't even hear me, right?
No, I couldn't hear you. I was like you were past the truck when I was here, basically. So, like, no way. Maybe I could hear you, actually, if I was listening really intently, but I was talking at the time. But that's pretty tough, like... I feel like there's a lot there that becomes exceedingly challenging if you can't at least know like they have to cross me in order to get to one of the 3 flanks, because they have 3 angles that they can take into the site. They can take mid, they can take the window room, and they can take the wrap by the water.
Yeah, but again, for the window room, you have to give up information.
Yeah, you do, but at that point, I think you're already in a pretty solid position, no? Maybe not. Maybe you do have to do some gunfighting. It feels like maybe like the biggest issue or biggest concern I would have is like by the time you can confirm their position. So maybe you have some ideas about this, but do you think that it's appropriate to have 3 angles and when you are balancing for 2v2? Because I feel like it's probably fine, right? It's probably fine to have like 1 more angle than can realistically be watched, so you have to pick and choose as a defender. Because that's kind of the way that, I mean, in a way, guard has that where you can obviously jump between the area, the QR code area. You can go towards the stairs, and then you can go towards the like the train station looking area, the little tunnel. So, like, maybe that's fine, but it feels like one of them is obviously more direct, the one that's jumping straight in, whereas this one is like you can't really hold from the... Like, I guess you could just hold from the site, but then you can't really do much interesting stuff as a CT. So what do you think of this, like, the way that the CTs would have to allocate themselves in a map like this?
Generally, the number of routes that are present in this map, I feel like, is pretty good. Like
Right.
you have a lot of options for teams to like set up different strategies. You have options to potentially avoid direct fire or like direct confrontation and like outplay your enemy.
Right.
At the same time, you have this little twist that you have to break this glass here. So you potentially give away some information about your position
Right.
if you break it. It kind of goes in hand with my philosophy of wingman maps, where I'm trying to go for 2.5 paths for T's.
Okay.
So 2 paths that you can like directly engage with the enemy, and 1 where you are at a disadvantage because you have to give up information or like a sound cue or something.
Yeah, or you have to jump into a bomb site where they could be anywhere, which would be the half
it
path.
could be. It could also be a door.
Yeah.
That like a squeaky door or something. Something you can break. Like all of these things. So in that regard, I feel like that map kind of checks these boxes. However, the spacing between the paths seems a little bit off.
Yeah, I think the biggest question mark for me is T spawn and it being so easy to bypass CTs in the early game, the first like 10, 15 seconds. I also think that Ts are able to make decisions pretty quickly, and unless CTs decide to go to the window room, their decision making is delayed for, I want to say, something like 10 seconds as they walk straight. And then they decide if they want to take a right to stay in the bomb site, keep going to go mid, take a left over here to go towards wrap. Like, do you know what I mean in that sense? It's like...
The CTs or the Ts now?
The CTs seem to have to go to walk in a straight line for a while if they want to make a decision other than going to the window pane room, which to me feels like the beginning of a lot of rounds would be the same for most players. Like most rounds would be the same, which isn't great for repeat playthroughs, obviously.
It's also not only the navigation itself is very straight, but also most of the angles. Like you have basically two roads that are connected with a curved road. But other than that, it's just two very long sidelines,
right?
With no cover at all. Like maybe this little car here, but apart from that, there's no waist cover or anything. So that doesn't really lend for interesting engagements, I would say.
My keybind to mute on Discord. It spawns a mag 7. That's pretty good.
I'll take it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, okay, so what was I gonna say after that? Yeah, I think the problem is I don't really see a way to improve the map. Like, I know what I would want to see in the map is like being able to stand on the truck, open this area up and allow people to walk through it, like this whole staircase area and the upraised terrace. Remove this like chunk of wall so people can just walk in, that sort of thing. But I don't really know what I would do to fix the map's like timing things, assuming we consider those to be issues, which I think like is probably safe to say. I wonder if making the CTs spawn in like this garage or something would be more adequate. And then you kind of change how this enters, I guess. Because then you kind of spawn on the bomb site, which makes it a bit more plain. But I feel like maybe that would I think force some more interesting engagements. It wouldn't fix the straightness of a lot of the angles that you were describing, but I think it would at least give us more early contact and make those early decisions matter more, instead of it being like, it sounds weird to say this because it is just like an investment into the future for 30 seconds into the future, but it kind of is like that. Like, all right, I'll go here, I'll spend like 10 seconds of every round walking, and then, or 15 or 20 or however many it is. And then, you know, that does add up over time. So you don't want that to be the case, I think. So I guess that would be my main concern is like, it does feel like CT spawn has to move. I don't think you could fix the map very easily outside of doing that. And then, yeah, I would personally prefer the freedom afforded by all of the cover opening up and being a bit more possible. I guess you could probably maybe even self-boost up here.
No, I tried. You always hit your head.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. That's pretty disappointing.
You can do a regular boost, which is fine, but then I would get rid of this little thing. It is misleading.
You can.
Oh,
you can do this and then.
That's still weird because of the foliage.
Yeah, yeah. Is there absolutely no way? Like you can't like do a timing jump? I guess it would be hard for your ping. I feel like maybe if you're like already peaked out or something.
No.
Hold on. I'll try it with my
cover
mouse.
is well tucked underneath the ceiling.
Yeah, that's true. Unfortunate. I would also suggest maybe allowing this glass to be popped so that from all the way back here I could like chuck a nade through it instead of it bouncing off. But
yeah, I just one thing that I wanted to mention is that I can avoid CT fire up until this point.
Yeah, and they basically have to peek. They have to wide peek the car essentially.
Right. So they need to cross to that little car, and then they don't have like great cover.
No, and they have no cover on the cross itself too.
So
like if you're trying to cross over here, and like you basically have to smoke this off, which then defeats the purpose. Oh, I guess you would have to step through that or something. Whatever. Yeah, so you'd have to do something like that in order, and then like okay, yeah, like you're saying, you can't really see anyway because of the smoke. So
I feel like the point of engagements are a little bit misaligned on this map.
Yeah, and a lot of that is probably down to timing.
Feels off.
But
yeah,
I would say a fair amount of that is down to the straightness of the engagements. I guess a very small nitpicky point as well would be over on the bomb site, the chairs here that block your pathing, block your movement, feel really. I can just imagine being in the middle of a gunfight and trying to reposition and getting caught on one of these things and not realizing it and like, oh fuck, you know. What's up, Slimac? How you doing, dude? So yeah, I would just say like stuff like that would be nice to clean up from a gameplay perspective, or make them destructible or make them immovable. Like I like the detail visually; it helps redefine the aesthetic, and it does feel a bit weird to just pass through them with no collision whatsoever. But that's already something that people are used to by now. That I think it would be better than like that's kind of how you have your cake and eat it too in CS in CS maps. Yeah, I mean it's not like it's certainly not a terrible map, but it does feel like it's maybe a couple more like days or weeks of work of fine-tuning some of the angles, changing up the CT spawn, and then ideally opening stuff up to be a bit more free, and then maybe some visual adjustments like that well-lit door over there that we talked about, stuff like that. So, some of the smaller stuff that we mentioned would be nice, but yeah. Overall I think it has potential. It's just it's not quite there right now.
Yeah, I feel like the weakest point here is basically the CT side. I can't imagine how to play this map as a CT, basically.
I think you would have to play from spawn in the current iteration, and you would basically have to give up like all this ground.
Yeah.
Because it's way too powerful. Like you might actually just want to play from up here.
Yeah, right.
Or like you don't really want to play from back here either. I guess what you could do is if you have an op or a scoped rifle in general, you could hold for the water cross. If they come from water, you can hold this, and if they peek you from the bomb site itself, then your like rifler or whatever will already know that, and then you can dive back to reinforce him. Or if you're feeling ballsy, you can like re-peek from up here or something, but you can like reinforce him through this basically. That might be how you do it, but you're still ceding ground, and the counter to that would probably be to like fast window push, even though it makes a sound cue. I don't know. There's a lot that the Ts have that the CTs don't have an answer to, I think. At least that's my gut feeling, obviously, not having played it. But I guess another thing, and this is something you might be able to speak to a bit more, but I don't really feel like this map has a defining visual characteristic. It kind of just feels like a city block or something. And it doesn't look, it's not like it looks terrible. It just feels like Like I'm not left with some sort of lasting impression. I think I like the building and the wall texture and stuff like this over here in CT Spawn, the Sakura building. I think it looks visually nice, but it doesn't stand out and pop and be like, oh yeah, this is the map with that in it. Like I guess this is like a sushi bar or something. So I could say that, but nothing about it really is like screaming to me like original, unique, custom, whatever.
I do get some nice like Japan vibes with this city block here, and the view from here. But there are a couple of buildings that look like out of place. Like this one looks a little bit out of place. I don't know what kind of shape that is.
Yeah, the architecture is a bit weird.
The one you mentioned, and then when we go down to the river, on the other side, it looks very much like Venice almost.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't scream
Venice,
Japan. Yeah,
even Venice windows. But I do like the vibe that I'm getting on this like main road here generally.
Yeah, I guess the more I look at this block right here, this structure, this does feel very I guess Asian, Oriental, whatever you want to call it, like Japanese. With the specifically with this style of wall and the open plan and stuff, like that's pretty nice. And maybe if that was leaned into a bit more, that would feel a bit more like authentic in that sense, or maybe not even authentic. It might not even be the right word, but different. You know, unique. Because we don't have a map that's set in that.
Generally.
So, what did you say?
They may just have been running out of time, because here in the back alley, some of the buildings seem a little bit rushed. Like this one also has a weird shape to it.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know what kind of building that should be. It has like warehouse windows.
It's Squid Ski's warehouse by the looks of things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then in here it looks it doesn't really look like anything in particular. I like the colors of the wires down here, the blue and pink combo, whatever that is. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like while the architecture and the styles and stuff, you can kind of see it when you look for it. Maybe you disagree about this, but for me, like when I'm just walking through, nothing is like, I kind of have to look for it and then appreciate it or have it be pointed out to me instead of it being like, you know, arguing for itself kind of deal. Like being its own best advocate in that sense.
Yeah, as I said, I do get some Japan vibes, but if I would tell you, oh, it's the map that's set in Japan and it's kind of a night map, you would first probably think of Kaizen or something like that.
Yeah. That was what I was gonna say.
We've been here before. There's this little bit of uniqueness missing, basically.
Yeah, and this area actually is pretty, I don't know about unique, but memorable. The water area, but like you said, it's like mixed in terms of the actual thematic that it's sort of underlining. So.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it seems, given the layout, the timing tests we did, it seems rather, like not very important.
Yeah.
Despite looking very unique.
Yeah,
like
and being an area I would want to be
along the waterfront.
Yeah. So, and then of course, like some of the more exciting areas of this area are walled off right now, so that doesn't help it either. I guess you could probably boost here, although I don't know if it would afford you anything. Oh, maybe I say probably, but you probably maybe the answer is not. Oh, hold on. Let me step away from that.
Oh, you cannot.
Standing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't. I can see over, but it's only good for an angle onto the raised up platform. It's not good for an angle onto the. Yeah. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, it would be nice to have more freedom, I guess, in general. So, but I don't think I have anything else to say on this map in particular. I don't know if you have any lasting words.
The last thing I would suggest is to put some more cover on the roads themselves, because the engagements you have there are pretty boring. It's just flat. You can't do much in terms of elevation, of course, given that it should be a road where cars drive. But
you could make it a hill or something, I guess. But yeah,
you gotta put anything. You gotta put something in to have the player play around, like some pieces of cover, like this one. though this one seems a little bit misplaced here. But in general,
Yeah.
breaking up the sightlines a bit.
Making things a bit more interesting. Maybe allowing for... one thing we didn't really touch on is utility in general, but I feel like there's not really any one area where a smoke would work well on the road. It's very large.
Yeah. Exactly.
And maybe
It's too
that's
wide.
fine. Maybe that's even intentional. Like, oh, you have to spend one smoke to isolate it into a bit more of a standard width sightline. But for a wingman map, you don't have a lot of smokes available, so that would feel pretty bad, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, then. Well, in that case, we'll switch over to the next map. The group photo. What else do we got here? I'll wait for us to load in.
We gotta move, guys. Let's teach them a lesson.
Let me know when you're... Alright, that's more reasonable. I hear some birds. Yo.
You.
So this is retained by Nickiepumps. Another name that is sort of like Biggie Necks. We're starting off well in that respect. Do you recognize this language? I'm an American, so...
Yes. That's definitely Italian.
Okay. That was going to be my guess, I promise.
I don't get any Italian vibes from the rest of the map so far.
Yeah, okay. It seems like a complex layout by the minimap, so that'll be kind of interesting. Let's before we go into the big heavy one, let's go over here. I wanna see inside the building. This looks very maybe this is like people have moved out.
Looks kind of Asian.
Oh, there is something in here. This is a dojo. Oh, look at this. You can't come in here, but this is the most detailed area in the whole map. What the hell? Why has he got fully furnished house in there, but nothing else? Unfortunately, you can't climb up the stairs. This door does not look interactable, at least.
Am I floating?
You are.
Feels like the clip brush here is a little bit misaligned.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think...
Oh, it's a collision model, actually.
I think you might be correct about that one. I'm not really sure why this is not allowed.
Or this.
Oh, yeah. I would probably just remove these walls here. You'd keep this one because it's a line of sight blocker, but maybe even keep this one as well. But it feels weird. Oh, here we go. I did it.
Oh.
You can't actually jump over it though. So maybe you know this too then, since you had a good answer for why you can't plant on cover. Why can we never climb on stuff?
Clip brushes.
Yeah, sure. Whoa. Wait, what is this? Is this busted on your screen?
No, looks fine.
Yeah, check the screen.
Oh, it's very bright on your side. Ooh. No, it looks fine for me.
Yeah, okay.
Just metal.
It's probably some texture load error or something.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there
I'm
is.
already getting confused.
Okay, let's take a step back because we were complaining about walkability.
This reminds me of another map that we took a look at.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but it was the one where it had like all the crazy boosts onto trees and shit, and the CTs basically spawned and had to sit still.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Nobody else will know,
right
but I know, so it's fine. This is an interesting place for the CTs to spawn because they can choose to go to the site or to meet the terrorists halfway. That's another busted texture for me.
Looks fine for me. Man, the clipping is very aggressive.
Well, I can at least jump on the truck, so...
Can you plant on the truck?
No. What do you think this is? Mustang?
Guard?
Yeah, true. Mustang you couldn't plant on the truck, but you could plant on a box next to the truck. So that was good enough for me.
Well, that's something.
Listen, I'm not asking for much, poLemin. I just want a little something. All right. Where have we gone? So this feels like a main approach. This is like mid, I guess. This house pathway is very complicated. And judging by the minimap, it feels like there's something you can do here, but there isn't.
No, you can just sit here, look at the cardboard boxes.
Pretty much. Oh, okay. I guess that works. So that's what you can do there. That feels pretty thin, to be honest. Alright, so... You come out here. I think the timings favor you slightly, just intuitively, but not enough to get anywhere if the CTs also go the same way. Jeez. So you can't go in there. I don't
Because
know.
there are sandbags on the floor.
Yeah. Sandbag's the enemy of everything. I don't really know what's going on over here. I think in addition to the layout being very windy, the visuals are kind of confusing, to be honest.
Yeah, part of it is that, like, once you see, let's say you come out here. I know it's not a path, but let's say you come out here, you look in this area, you identify this area as a place and this road as a place, but you can't access either of them.
Yeah.
There are a lot of places like here as well, where it looks like there is space and you kind of memorize that space, but you can't access it, and you have to kind of delete that from your memory, which makes it really hard to get your bearings.
Sure.
In the map.
I would like to delete Vertigo from my memory, to be honest. Can you help me with that? Wait, can you not access this? What?
No.
Why? Why? Explain why, please. Somebody tell me why. What? This is so, like... I'm literally higher than the area. I'm literally up higher than it. Jeez. Alright. What's up, Squid? What's up, Quoting? Welcome. Alright, so... We've got ourselves some men. They spawn here. Where would they ever want to go to the right? As a CT, would you ever want to walk away from... I guess this is like if they go here, you've got a much faster contact. But the more you go down this road, the farther you are away from the bomb site. So I like the idea.
You can't get up here.
Yeah, you have to boost up here. So you'd have to send both people here. Oh, maybe that's a strat though. So maybe as the CTs, you send one guy up, right? And then the other guy holds from the truck or something. And this guy like kind of surprises them middle. Oh, but the angles here, if you're a CT, are kind of...
Yeah, that's super weird.
Yeah, you don't have any line of sight down there. I could jump spot. I could sort of jump spot because this fucking thing is in my way. But this is yeah.
And then you get banged.
Yeah.
No, like I agree with your first confusion, I would say, about this path. That it doesn't really give CTs anything.
Yeah. I was trying to theory craft a way where it would make sense. But I don't think the Ts would ever want to go construction. So the CTs don't... It's not like the CTs want to go there to deny something from the Ts, right? Which is like the kind of natural give and take you have. But the Ts would prefer to either go truck, like left side, or go house this way. And then Oh man, then there's this area that you started to walk into and then ran away, which I can start to understand. What is happening over here? And of course, aggressive clipping. Like, this is an ambitious area, man. So I guess this would most likely, you would probably hit the site, plant, and then fall back in here, but you can't actually leverage this position. You can stay inside the second tunnel, but you like if you go out here, you have to walk all the way around. Like, there's not really a vantage point from the upper area.
Right.
This upper area is entirely just a connector, right? You don't actually have any way to influence the rest of the map. This is a pathway. And not every area needs to be something where you can massively influence the rest of the map, but like when it's so close to a bomb site, it probably should be a bit more impactful, I think.
Mm. Also, same problem as the other map had, kind of, given that it's just a flat city, that all of the engagements seem to be on one axis. Or like on one level, I should say.
Yeah. Like, you can kind of elevate your Z a bit, but not much.
Maybe apart from the one potential engagement that you have in here in the little park area. But here you have super awkward head peaks on both sides.
Right, I see what you're saying. And the odds of people actually meeting there in a firefight are pretty low anyway, given the rest of the stuff that's going on. You can kind of boost yourself up onto this like this, but I'm pretty sure I'm massively visible on your screen. Like, this isn't really an advantageous angle, especially if I stand up. So I could like play around the box, but I'm still at the same height level. So yeah, a map like this, you basically never need to adjust your crosshair placement. You'll always be at head height, which maybe that's a plus for some people, but
it just doesn't lend to exciting gunplay.
Yeah.
Generally.
And that's the other thing. So like here, you could stand here, elevate, hold for somebody exiting, and then fall back, but that's still pretty risky if you just get wide peeked and...
Yeah, if you get double peeked.
Yeah, or just one of my bots steps out and headshots you with a Negev. Yeah, there's a number of issues that might arise. This is kind of would be an interesting angle, but this is peering into something that's not even playable territory. It's a bathroom.
Yeah, just bathroom.
It's a bathroom with just a toilet. Where's the rest of the bathroom?
Do you need to see more?
Oh, I would like to see maybe a shower, maybe a sink, something. I don't know. I don't know if there's really that much to say about this map, because obviously it has a ton of shit going on, but it feels... I can feel the excitement of a mapper. I don't necessarily feel like the polish, though. You know what I mean? Like, I can feel like, you know, somebody who's... Maybe this isn't their first map, but this might be one of their first maps or whatever, and they're like really excited about creating something for a contest, and they have this big ambitious plan, and just hasn't come together. That's my assumption, anyway. I could be completely wrong about that, but that's what I feel from running around this map so far.
Yeah, I feel like there has been some thought put into it, generally, to make it seem somewhat realistic. Like, honestly, most of the areas kind of make sense. It feels like, okay, it's like a small town, Japanese town.
Yeah, fair enough.
I can see that. But I feel like that the gameplay is suffering a lot by catering so much to realism that, like, there is no elevation, really.
Yeah.
This is the highest step you can climb here. Those 2 steps into the house.
Yeah, and then there's this like construction area where you're unlikely to actually
you have
fight.
that, but you don't have an engagement here.
Yeah, true, because all of the cover. Fair enough. What's up, Prack? I agree. The toilet is indeed the sink. What do you make of it then? Do you have any sort of closing thoughts on this one? Because this one feels like it would be very difficult to tear apart and recompile and turn it into something better. Like the quote-unquote fix the map thought process would it would take a while, right? You'd end up with something completely different, I think, by the end of it.
Probably, yeah. I would first step, I would turn this entire area from where I'm standing to where you're standing right now. I would turn this into something like an elevated park or something, similar to what that is here.
Okay.
But something where you come out on a different height level than the bomb site is or than your enemy is would be a good start. Could also be that the bomb site is elevated, but given that it's like a road junction, it might be a little bit hard to do here.
Yeah, I feel like even with roads and stuff, I mean, where I'm from anyway, I see like elevated asphalt all over the place. Like just people build on hills and shit. So
yeah,
wouldn't be massively unrealistic. I don't think it would.
Right.
Maybe depending on where this is supposed to be.
Sorry.
It's okay. I tried to headshot you earlier and missed, so it's karma. I would say like depending on what's going on there. I don't know. I'll just say what I'll say about it is like obviously it takes time to make any Counter-Strike map. This is a larger map than some maps are, so it obviously took some time. And I hope that the map maker learned something from the experience. And maybe they're still around making some stuff. So there you go, Nickiepumps. That's my take on your map.
Nickiepumps.
Nickiepumps and Biggie next. All right, I'll load into the next one.
Brechita.
The terrorist team is full. The counter-terrorist team is full.
Oh no.
All teams are full. Oh. It just kicked me out, actually.
Oh, it seems like the map has been removed.
Oh, is that true? Let's take a look. Yeah, it indeed has. And I'm guessing you don't have it downloaded?
No, I don't.
Okay. So I guess we just delete this from the list. We'll
Very
go
sad.
into Moss instead. Yeah, it's always a shame when people delete the map. I don't really know why they do that, but it is what it is, I guess.
I guess.
You know what's funny is when I started tweeting in French as like a bit, and everybody is like, there are people who are responding in French, and I don't understand them.
Yeah,
So.
I saw that. I was also a little bit puzzled by that. But the fact that you're tweeting in French.
Je parle un peu avec une femme française. If you know what I mean.
Sure. No, I don't.
I've been speaking a bit with a French woman. Yeah.
Oh yeah, see? Yeah. I got that part.
You got that part, yeah. But yeah. Duolingo is your friend, I guess, in these situations.
Totally.
There's a ton of chicken.
Good.
Fuel for
Time
the
to
fire.
do some Broken Fang operation challenges.
Yeah, dude, that kills me every time. How could Valve be so lazy? Why? Then again, I guess they are literally being paid for like selecting. Like one guy just is like, "Oh, look at all these people who made skins. I will select this skin," and that's it. That's their job for the day, and they get paid bank. Like they don't even. They don't do it. Ooh, an epic sound effect from the tank.
Are you CT?
I can switch. It just automatically loaded me in there. All right.
All right. Moss.
Moss by, drum roll. I lost the author. Rimas. Carving some chickens.
that in game?
No, I just farted. Yeah, it was.
Okay, there's
an-
a storm coming tonight.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking. I was a little bit confused.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Can you explain? Yeah, that's great. Too bad this is not a playable area. Maybe this is
Or is it? Can you see me? Oh. How do we do this? So I would be up here. You can see this area a little bit, but I'm not sure about the payoff.
Oh, that's why. Because you can smack somebody in the head with a smoke grenade if they stay in spawn. No, I have no idea why that's there.
I am throwing smoke.
Nope. No clue why the arrows are there. All right, let's go back to T-spawn. Moss by Rimas. We like your chickens. We'll have some more of those later. What do you think about the soundscape? That's more,
It's a little bit confusing.
It's more, what do you call it? Involved than CS maps usually go.
It seems so sunny and friendly, and all of the other soundscapes tell me that it's sunny and friendly, but then there's this thunder that just confuses me.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem particularly... I guess it is a bit cloudy, but... Like, the skybox isn't massively cloudy. I also am getting a bit confused
Yep.
running around this map. A lot of it feels very similar. So this is the spawn. Oh, this is some interesting storytelling. Came from the sewers. That's how we got here. I thought you actually like fell in somehow for a second.
Sewers.
So you can take 3 routes by the looks of things. You know what this map is starting to remind me of is that I don't remember if it wasn't called Ruins, I don't think. It was called something. There was some map where we were in like a busted up cobblestone looking temple. And there was a ton of
Death?
No, it was a map
With the large bell?
No. It was that kind of looks more like Aztec. What was the map called? I'll quickly look through. It's called like it has some funny name that doesn't really make any sense to me, but I don't remember what it was. Was it Log?
I only remember Bobbit from Funny Names.
Yeah, it was Logres or Logres. I don't know how you're supposed to say that name.
Oh.
It was basically this
That
busted up
doesn't
church.
ring a bell.
Yeah. You would recognize it if you saw it, but basically...
Oh, the one that was just gray.
Yeah. It was all the same color, same tone.
I remember now, yeah.
So it's hard to like immediately know what was going on there.
Yeah, very similar here. While coherent with the theming, it doesn't really lend to navigation orientation, basically.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to know where I am. Yeah. Even looking
All
at
the buildings look the same. And the paths are roughly the same size. Especially on the T side. Not so much on the CT side. It seems a little bit better on the CT side, to be honest.
I agree, yeah.
But on the T side, I'm not really sure what's going on.
You have that nice little change in color with the blue window that's looking into the bomb site. I haven't even really seen the bomb site, to be honest. Where is it? So you're bombing this tree, I guess.
In the water. I guess.
Can't plant up here.
Well, you don't have the bomb, right? Oh, you have a bomb.
WTF, 2 bombs? Yeah, I did give weapon underscore C4. Here, you want another one?
I'm good, thanks.
This is how many bombs should be able to be bought in competitive.
Imagine you can buy bombs.
Yeah, why not? Oops. Imagine if you could knife your teammate. I gotta be honest, Matt, I'm very confused. What do we say about this, man? Let me try to actually, I have to work very hard to analyze this. So, you can't plant over here. Plant over here. I can analyze the bomb site at least. I know that much.
Go for it.
So, you got these raised little areas. Okay, there's some elevation, right? And there's even this bit, which you don't appear to be able to stand on, which is kind of confusing. You can't stand on these. At least I don't think so. Yeah.
So what's your bomb site analysis?
I just don't really see any really strong plant spots. I guess you would plant here, like all the way... No, you wouldn't want to plant here all the way out.
I think this is the strongest plant here.
It's the safest, and you can hold it from here, yeah. And you can hold it from
here.
The taxi. Man, who would take a taxi into this area?
Urban explorers.
True. It feels like you should be able to stand on that because of the visual, but you can't. I guess the taxi is also just here for you to be able to self-boost back up.
So something that this map already does better than the other ones is that, for example, you have this fairly straight line again.
Yeah.
But you're breaking it up by having two different engagements. I can either come out from here, or I can come out here, which is not only a different angle in terms of your rotation, but also in elevation.
Yeah.
I can even go as far and stand on this thing and peek from here. Like, that gives you a lot of options and makes it much more interesting, this engagement.
I still would like something to generally break this up, because it is pretty long, but I think it's probably fine. Like, you could also just smoke it off, obviously.
No.
And then cross. Yeah, I guess so. You'd probably want to have some sort of, like... The T's would come up here. Smoke that. And then jump across and try to take right here. I don't know. That one T would do that, and the other T would probably be in the window, where you can throw flashes over the top and stuff.
Just by looking at it, I feel like this gap could be closed to clean up the site a little bit more. That might make post plants a little bit too harsh, but I feel it's a little bit not confusing. There's just so much going on. If you jump out of this window,
yeah,
so many angles open up at the same time.
Yeah, and you don't really get any reprieve by making it to this cover either, because you can then be hit by here.
There's just a lot of smaller covers that are just big enough to conceal some movement, that it gets very confusing very quickly. If I run around here,
no.
you can basically vanish after you saw me for just a brief second. Which makes it very unpredictable, I would say.
I'm kind of interested about this angle. I don't really see much of a reason to ever go this way. This doesn't look like it's impassable. This is obviously CT spawn. What is afforded you by flanking on over here as a T?
As a T?
Because The CTs are probably playing back here, like you were saying.
Potentially.
I guess if they're on the site, it can be useful, but
I think
gets
they
so
can
messy.
get onto site, like looking at the timings.
Yeah, they
looking at
can. I'm
the
just not sure
overview.
if it would be advisable. I guess it depends on the weapons.
Yeah. They don't really have great cover to work with from the side. You kind of have to rely that they don't check your angle that you're sitting in. Like, what's the counter position to doing that? There is none.
Yeah, not really. You basically just have to be waiting here.
You
Like,
can't even be here because there's this hatch in between. It's just a dry corner peek that you have to do, which puts you at a disadvantage, I would say, when defending. So as a CT, see, here's the thing. I don't want to play on site because the cover feels weird here.
Yeah.
I don't feel safe. I don't feel I'm in.
you can
an
get wrapped
advantage.
from so many different positions.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, I kind of want to get onto site because I want to control this window, and I can only control that from site. To some extent.
Yeah, I mean, your alternative would be to Molotov it.
Yeah, that takes it out of commission for a few seconds, but the round is 2 minutes long, so. Nice.
He was dodging my pistol shots.
So I wish there was like something like this engagement here, which I found very interesting
Yeah.
on site. Where you could hold the window from an angle like this, or be elevated like this, or swing around this corner down here.
You like that headshot range?
That was nice.
No,
What if
underrated.
the flower bed where the tree is standing would only be half as high? What would that do?
So it's it still has the full cover on the tree itself.
Exactly. But you can peek around both sides of the tree.
Yeah.
So it kind of works like a pillar.
Then the tree would probably have to be bigger, I think, but it would still be good. It would probably be a net positive change.
Because you can still get flanked, but at least you have like some half cover that you can also work with from back here.
Yeah.
Not as directly, of course, but will make it a little bit easier for the CTs to hold the site itself.
Hey, the rumbling thunder stopped. Oh, it's
I
probably
know,
because
yeah.
our round time is too long or something. I guess the soundscape is set to loop.
Maybe. Or it's some 1.6 shit where there's a trigger when you run through it. It triggers a thunder.
I guess that could be the case, but I don't see anything.
I am throwing smoke.
Now that's a lineup for a wrap. Smoke that off and then get your buddy over here. Pretty easily reproducible.
Yeah, map generally feels very tight. Most of the paths are close to feeling claustrophobic, and I don't have much wiggle room to take a little bit of a different angle. Again, with the one exception, this corner here, back on CT, that I seem to be a fan of.
Yeah, and I don't really mind the
Chickens.
I don't mind the chickens. I don't mind the things that are immediately surrounding the bomb site, but it does feel like the bomb site itself has some problems once you get onto it, and then There's just this incessant puzzle that seems difficult to solve as far as how to balance around the actual bomb site cover. And then there's the problem of it being very confusing on the approach to the bomb site from the T's perspective.
I feel like even if the name is moss, it doesn't have to be mossy everywhere.
Yeah. That could be like
You
the
could-
centerpiece, you know?
Yeah. Or like one area of the map, but it seems to be omnipresent in the entire map,
Yeah.
which makes it very hard for orientation navigation.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what to expect when I load up a map named Moss. And in that sense,
Like
this
here.
map delivers.
Yeah. If you come back to city spawn for a moment,
Yeah.
like back here on city spawn, you have like a little theme that you could work with. You have like red walls and this little
Oh, yeah, interesting.
playground.
That's the overpass
That would make a
assets.
more unique area that you can use in the playable space to make it more identifiable. Here, unfortunately, it's outside of the playable space.
Yeah, maybe even if that was the bomb site in addition to the tree,
Yeah, could be.
that would
Like, instead of
definitely improve
green
visibility.
hedges, Instead of green hedges
Could be the red walls.
combined
and-
with green walls,
Yeah.
you have some red wooden panels or whatever.
I'm not saying I want to bomb a playground. I'm just saying maybe that would be a more exciting visual set piece.
Of course, of course.
that was like when my Al Qaeda comment on one of the other episodes. I'm trying to align it. Listen, we've got the C4, okay? Yeah, I don't know. This was definitely probably one of the weirder ones because it has an interesting idea going on for the bomb site, but visually it's kind of a mess. Well, kind of the same.
Yeah.
And then it has that interesting soundscape thing. I don't really mind it as much as I know some people will because they're going to be like, "Oh, it's blocking my audio. I can't hear." But I thought it was distinct enough and pulled back enough in terms of its frequencies and stuff. I don't think it would be that confusing. I do wish that stuff like this was a bit more commonplace, and I think this whole area is probably the best area of the map for both sides.
Yep. I agree.
Like being able to stand on this box, being able to stand behind the box with an op, or a shotgun, as it were. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yet it also seems that there is barely any place in the map where I could like stand entirely above you. Like here, for example, I'm about your head height, staying on your head, basically.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
some slight.
is this the trigger?
Oh, that's a new theme. I
Oh,
don't
I
know.
heard the thunder again. Yeah, this is interesting. I didn't notice this.
It's cool. It could also be like more prominent, something like this.
No.
I like it.
Is it actually bangable?
Yeah. What did I want to say just now? Yeah, that like there's elevation changes generally, which feels nice, but there's like nothing like a balcony or a truck that you can get up on
Yeah.
where you can like you would really need to adjust your view angle upwards in order to fight that person or whatever.
Those are some of the hardest angles in CS to adjust to, according to a lot of professional players, like the cache heaven stuff.
Totally.
But I do think that they do add a really interesting element.
100%.
I think in addition to that, it's probably a good idea to play around with elevation a bit more. Some people are probably a little scared because Engage came out and everybody got angry about the elevation. They're like, I don't want that to be me. But no, I think just do it more, to be honest. It's pretty nice. I don't know if you have any final words on this one, but this is a bit of a
Maybe
weird
the
one.
final thing I would like to say is I have no idea where this map should play. I might be not educated enough to identify the architecture. It seems to have a very distinctive style that's very coherent throughout the map, but I can't identify where that should be.
It does feel a bit Eurocentric, the architecture.
Right. I would have said like Eastern Europe, but
Yeah, this
I
area
honestly
over here
don't
in
know.
particular is like This is almost like this almost reminds me of like steampunk architecture, like
Yeah, a little
the
bit.
two eyeball stuff over there.
Right.
Yeah, so it almost feels ethereal in that respect, which is pretty nice. I just wish that the theme was not so restrictive in some of these other areas.
Yeah, but that's it from my side.
Well, I've slain my last chicken. Let's move on
Good job.
to our next map.
Ooh, Cavelyn.
I have no experience with any of the maps we have seen here, but I think you have a couple.
I've seen that one. I've not played it. I've seen someone play it. That's an interesting one.
Systems all fired.
Oh, crash. Bye. The classic.
What did you do?
I just exec my game mode to analyze the thing.
Oh, what was it last time that crashed?
Just
Oh,
loading
you
in.
always crashed me, right?
Oh, there was a specific map, I think, that had that problem.
No, it was something with the time.
Oh, yeah. That was happening in our danger zone one, I think. We had to do like an hour-long debugging session before we could do our danger zone show. The one for Frostbite. It wasn't maybe an hour. It was a long time, though. I was waiting for it to show up in my list because Valve is very good at sorting through custom maps. It really does. Like, there's been all these conversations lately about how CS should be improved and could be improved. I just can't believe how.
Come on, let's go.
Okay, I think I'm good now. Didn't crash. But yeah, I think it's crazy to me how like busted the experience of playing custom maps is generally.
Oh yeah. Have you tried making one?
I did. I compiled a map. Yes,
Oh,
I made a
well,
map
that's
that was just
something.
a building, and like you were inside a building, and there was a building inside that building. That was my map.
Oh, I hate that.
What? Oh, yeah. This is my favorite.
So lazy.
I agree. Like, obviously, it's because if you could just walk into the water, it would be.
Yeah, I mean, here you don't even need to put them. Like, I understand you don't want me to go into the water.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fine enough for me, to be honest.
We will make them regret this day.
In this case.
Well, this is Cavelyn by Frone or Frone. I do like the mushrooms and shit.
Yeah, looks cool.
Interesting. I don't know that they make much sense, but
I like the cave structures a lot.
yeah, the stalactites. and
Especially
stuff.
with the fog.
Yeah, sure, that's pretty thematic. Allows the render distance to be much higher because there's not really a skybox on this map. So this is very unique visually already. The problem is, like, obviously you have these invisible walls that are, well, they're not even invisible, I guess. These red circle walls. It would be nice if we could forget about those and just, like, actually have level design, but you know, whatever, made it in the time frame for a contest and all that. I get that idea. So we come inside and it's instantly more well lit. Looks like nuke assets with some texture changes, recolors. I think the most thematic areas so far are stuff like this, where you're kind of merging the two aesthetics. But I think in general, it's a nice transition between the two. I do feel like maybe this entrance into the compound, it feels very stark. It feels very jarring. I don't know if that's by design, but I'm going from like very dark tones into very bright tones very quickly. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but yeah, I can actually jump on top of this
I don't mind
box.
it too much. However, if you stand outside, you're right. It is very stark or very
Yeah, just
harsh
looking into
contrast.
it, right, is like...
However, on the other side, it kind of attracts me naturally.
Sure,
like I
yeah.
want to go there. It's bright. So I don't mind it.
Yeah, it
actually.
might be one of those things where like that's the point of it, more or less.
Oh, that was confusing. Here we are.
We're bombing Tiberium. We'll put all these green minerals here.
Yeah, so something I noticed when I saw someone play that is that these crystals are highly bangable. Because they're set to glass. To make that sound, basically. So it behaves like glass, and glass is very forgiving.
That's kind of interesting. I wonder if that was like... That was probably done for the audio cue, I guess, and the
Yep.
texture.
Pretty sure it was.
This is kind of weird that I can't jump on this.
Yeah.
Oh, you just can't jump on it at all. The screen effect of it, my screen tinting green, is probably a bit
Yeah, I
much
don't
as
like
well.
it.
I'm not a fan. So this is more
Feels
towards
almost
the
relieving to leave that area.
Yeah. Well, I think psychologically green has like a negative effect where blue has a positive one or something. I remember reading something like that. Wait, can you not jump on anything in here? This is not boostable? That's pretty lame.
Not, sir.
Very confusing. It seems pretty natural to jump up here. Or just to self-boost on like this. Yeah, okay, I'm getting some mixed signals here.
It does have a little bit of a gameplay twist, though, if you enter this post-processing volume here, where everything gets a little bit greener. Visibility is enhanced if you do that. Like, look at the darker areas of the cave back there.
Oh, yeah, true.
Then step back. So up here is city spawn.
This is a really cool CT spawn area, I'll say that much. Like, visually, this is pretty nice.
Yeah. I guess that's also, like, a little bit smoother in terms of transition, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, yeah. They're approaching the facility. And they jump into water, so there's no hope of, or no chance of losing health. I don't know, it feels like I should be able to scale a lot of this a lot easier. The cover around the site. Yeah, it's such a weird one because it visually it's like interesting, but wait, how did you get up there? Oh, did you just walk around? It's kind of finicky, but I guess it works.
I can't get up there. It's so annoying.
It's not allowed.
I'm gonna get up there and then jump into the window.
Right? You just crater awkwardly. All right, hold on. Let me go back to T-spawn. I see. So observation is the door, is the thing with the giant window. I guess the CTs could hold behind, like they could hold from all the way up there, or they could hold on the site itself. I would want to hold behind some of this cover, but it can't really jump around it, so the movement is pretty limited. You said you were watching people play this. I assume this was actually play tested, and there's probably a reason for the cover not being pathable.
I saw them playing the final version. I think it was Warall who was a judge as well,
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah.
not mistaken. And they had figured out that it would be the best to have 2 scouts propped up here as CTs, one up here and one down here, or something like that. You can even look through the crystal a little bit.
Destroyed.
And there's also like a weird angle where you can see someone's feet first coming down here. You can see my feet, I can't see you, right?
I can see your whole body, yeah.
Yeah, I can't see you at all. So that's a little bit weird.
Well, I'm on a very
I think that
specific
should be a
angle. I
thing.
don't know. Let me if you go back there, let me fall back. I'll see what I can see. Yeah, okay. So I can see it without boosting up there.
Yeah.
Also, my cube map is vertigo. On my op.
I can see you very well against the fog, which is nice. Thanks, Valve.
Check out that cube map.
Ooh. Isn't it your favorite cube map?
I can't escape
You
it.
feel mocked whenever you see it.
Yeah, especially in another map, like a map that's not vertigo. Get me out. So, yeah, I do feel like maybe the strength... Like, the problem is that this bomb site seems like it would be a lot of fun to play around, especially if this cover was opened up so that we could actually walk on it and the clipping was less aggressive. But the obvious issue is that it looks like, balance-wise, you would never get to have fun engagements around here.
Right.
And I think that that's probably not possible to fix in this layout without making this like a 2 bomb site map and just making it a full diffuse map. And then allowing more pathways into A or something. Because basically CTs would have to spawn somewhere else. And this would have to be an area that like could be fought over as a post plant spot.
I would fix it in a way that I would block this little balcony off here, where I am right now. Make sure that you can't see the window from here through the crystal, which I find very weird. And then have a second exit that's wrapping around here. Where you could hold, for example, just the window if you're far back. But if you want to hold both entrances, you need to get a little bit closer to the side.
Both the window and the underpass?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I guess the issue is that it's like a lot of other
CTs forward.
Yeah, a lot of other wingman maps have this problem where the CTs basically don't want to move on spawn.
Yeah,
which is a huge issue, I think. And you can sort of fix this the way that I've seen some maps fix this, where they just move the spawns back and make you walk longer, but that doesn't really fix it, you know? And the clipping around this is very awkward.
Yeah, it does not feel very smooth.
I'm stuck. There we go. This also seems like it should be a vantage point as well, but like maybe there could be a road.
Yeah, since it's so well lit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, and I thought this scaffolding here was a ladder.
Yeah, a ladder, yeah.
I do like the general visual appearance of it, though.
Yeah, the theme and the aesthetic is intact
well
for sure. Yeah, and it makes me excited. Like I would want to play on a full diffuse map with this kind of thematic. But the gameplay can't be ignored here, and I think it's actually not very fun at all to move around the map because it's so restrictive. Even though it's really nice to look at, and I would get pretty excited about actually retaking a bomb site that looked like this.
Can't even jump from here.
No, yeah, it's just straight up not allowed.
I wonder why.
Yeah, again, I don't know if that was something that... I imagine that was a deliberate decision and not just incidental. But considering you can be above this piece, or at the same height level-ish, over here, it seems really dumb that it's not allowed.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd probably remove the post-processing, even though it does have that gameplay effect. Precisely because it has that gameplay effect. And if visibility was a concern, I would probably just fix it through.
Yeah.
Lighting.
No, I don't think the effect is intended for gameplay. That
Yeah,
your
it's probably
visibility
just
is improved when you're sitting next to it.
Yeah.
It's more like a thematic thing.
Right. Which I get the idea. If you could
agree.
make it so that people visibly had a green glow on them from walking
Night
by
vision.
it, that could actually be interesting because then it still is the visual thematic. And for you, your weapons would light up, your arms and hands would light up or whatever. Like that could be neat. But obviously, you would also become more visible, so there would be a gameplay element to it where you'd want to back away from it in general.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't see
I would do
much
crazy shit,
conflicts.
to be honest, poLemin. I would make it so that it like regenerates your health slowly or some crazy fuck. Like I would pretty I'd go crazy with stuff like that just because I think that would be really interesting as like you're more visible and thus more vulnerable. But
Yeah. You're
You.
super visible, but you have like when you shoot
Superpowers.
someone, you gain their HP.
yeah, lifesteal. So you can't plant on the big crystal, but you can plant on the small stubs.
Yeah. Movement is generally very finicky around
Yep,
the
I don't like
organic
that
structures here.
part of it, yeah. And it does feel like you should be able to plant on like the other side over here. But you can't. I don't know. Interesting map though. I don't know about the angles like you were saying. It seems like those are the weakest part of the map, as well as the movement. But yeah, for sure it's got a lot of promise. Like this is a map where I so wish like I so hope that either this map developer or somebody else puts in the required effort to deliver a map that's like with this kind of thematic, because it's unlike anything we have in CS, and it's really interesting. And also remove vertigo cube maps, please.
Oh, I thought you meant just
just remove vertigo as well, yeah. But yeah. Just put engage in instead. Put a feast in, IMO.
Meh.
All right. Do you have any final words about Cavelyn?
Nope, I think everything's said.
Cool.
I think the main issue is with driving CTs forward.
Yeah.
It's just not interesting for them.
In that case, we will move on to our next map. Let me know when you're on your way out, by the way. I don't know how many more you want to
Can go for some more.
Okay.
It's only been like 1.5 hours or so.
Yeah, we're running through them. Now, I've heard of this map, but I don't remember why I heard it.
Let's go, guys.
Maybe we'll see. Is your config called anal?
Yes. Very mature. Oh, come on. Some kind of joke.
Oh no, I see it on your stream.
We got some weapons. Or some ammo, rather. Free HEs. Only they didn't have helmets. So we actually spawn here, but our truck is over there. That's interesting.
Maybe they moved it in to fix some timings. I don't know.
It's probably just the only spot that a truck made sense to be put there, I guess. I don't know. All right, so this is Sibiu by BurekMan and Bogdan.
All right. So we're in a Belgian town, I would assume.
Seems to be the case. Ow. I don't know about that fall damage, homie.
That fall damage. Gotta land on that. Oh, or Romania? Oh, that's blue. Yikes.
What?
I was like, I felt so smart because I could identify the flag. And then I realized it's not what I thought it would be. We're in Romania, apparently. According to that
License plate?
license plate.
Yeah. Maybe I'll see if my buddy Chalks is around. Hey, they have English police signs. This area feels a bit lame.
Yeah. Oh, Left 4 Dead advertisement. Should look at that. And Aperture Science.
Why am I not allowed to go in here?
So here I thought I could run here, but the actual exit is here. Kind of misleading with the light and the architecture here. It's the biggest statue.
Yes, that's is that the same size as the one in? No, this is bigger than the one in Guard, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's taken that from you. So I guess you could plant here. And then
Oh, interesting. Oh, I see. There's a little ladder.
yeah. What would be really sick is if you could make maybe you can. Oh, you gotta jump a lot to get up here. No, I don't know about that one. You can try it. You have to go pretty far around. Destroyed. You can blame the ping on that one. I don't think it's possible, but that would be really sick if you could.
No, it's too high anyway.
See, I see a map in you know, textures and props. poLemin sees a map in units. I'm guessing you can't be up here. Yeah.
And that would be a fun area to play in, but it's so useless.
What, this whole area?
Yeah, like imagine a bomb site is here. And you
Yeah,
come
and you can
out
enter
of
in
this
from
area.
from the shop or whatever in the back. Like canal style.
Like coming down here is super interesting, I feel like. Exploring this area.
Yeah, all we would need is like a couple other entrances. I think the shop and then these doors or something.
But here again, we have, like, it's so flat.
Yeah, it's just
We
the
have this little
things around
balcony,
it.
sure.
Yeah.
But all of the corners of engagement where people can come from, it's just on one level.
I also think there's probably a bit too much going on here, to be honest. In terms of small things, it feels very cramped and like overloaded.
Here we have some elevation change, but it's
What?
pointless because it just loops around. Goes down, goes
This
up
is
again.
supposed to be able to play around the negative space for rotations, I guess. But I don't know why CTs would ever be that far forward.
Yeah.
Ah, I found the final resting place of Vertigo.
Would be fitting if it had vertigo cube maps on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, let's test.
Yeah, I mean, I would just sit here as a CT. Great headshot angle.
Oh, that is pretty
Overview of
banging,
sight.
yeah. Good luck. Also, there are no cube maps. My op is as black as my soul.
It's sad.
That's an interesting angle. What is going on over there? Can you jump on that? Can I boost you onto
No,
that?
but it's moving a little bit. You get up on me. Need to show the. Need to show the people.
What?
Oh,
Hello?
where? Are
Help.
you are you stuck?
I
Are
could
you
probably
standing
move,
on an
but...
umbrella?
Oh, I'm on the umbrella? Because something's stopping me from moving up, so I thought I was like in between the box.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's a prop. I think that's from Abby.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. It was used for blocking line of sight in mid from the CT spawn.
It's also a very high table.
And it's not a table for... Yeah, this is actually rather high. I was about to say it's not a table for manlets, but that's true. What is this?
I'm throwing a flashbang.
I guess there's nothing in there. Oh,
Oh. Are you serious? That's it?
Flashbang.
yeah. Isn't it epic? So he can plant here and then open the door.
Oh no, it always opens this way. I don't like that too much, to be honest.
I don't like that you can't plant in the room because it's the same floor texture, so it makes me think you should be able to.
This is kind of interesting here. This element, you don't really see much like
yeah,
this
the
in
fence
maps.
type thing. Unfortunately, the holes are considered part of a wall bang.
That might be why it's not used.
Yeah. Well, you could painstakingly fix that, I imagine, right? Or would it be impossible?
No, it would not be impossible. It would be just very expensive because it's a fairly complex.
Oh
collision
yeah.
mesh.
So it would like it would be an expensive mesh to render or whatever.
But definitely not impossible. I think in a wingman map you can get away with it fairly easily.
Yeah, I've been at like 200 FPS this whole time, so, and I'm streaming. Oh, it actually drops down below 120 when I'm looking in a certain direction. I don't know why. If I don't notice the performance impact, then it doesn't really matter, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of the more interesting areas of the map are the ones that aren't used for anything.
Yeah. Man, I wish CT spawn was playable. Like, or
Yeah,
it is
was
playable, but like
an
more
objective.
meaningful because I feel it's very interesting. Oh,
And I
there's a
still
shop
can't get
here.
over this thing earlier that I found.
What's that? Oh yeah, that's just painful.
Like, what are you doing? Because it looks very inviting. It's even got collision and stuff. I would say these should probably be removed. I guess these are meant to block cars or whatever, but like we don't need that. And then there's so many props on this approach. Like, I would be tempted to go this way just to not run into the props. And even then, it doesn't really give you much. Like, if the CTs have moved from spawn, then I guess it does.
Oh,
No,
that's
yeah,
the thing.
that is an angle.
So something that this map does well, though, in comparison to most of the other maps that we've looked at, is they drive CTs out of spawn.
Do you think so? Because you were just saying that this angle right here is ridiculous.
Yeah, I had this one thing here, but generally there are 3 points of attack that I don't really cover from here. Like, you can get onto site. Like, here I can see you. it's easily smoked off. If I know that CTs like to hold this, and I can completely bypass it by going the upper route here. I don't care about this guy at all. Just drop down, plant the bomb. I'm good. So you would like to have some more forward positions as CT, which are hard to take though in some cases.
Yeah, I don't really know where you would want to go is the problem, right? Like,
Yeah,
I guess
you
you could
can't-
go up the ladder.
Yeah, that's the only place really that I can see fit. Because you can't really offensively hold this angle. Because T's can chop up here for some reason. Can easily flank you from above.
Is this pure black for you too?
No, it's a chicken.
Well, yeah, it's a chicken, but for me, it's pure black.
It's very black, yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things I just found was this. Which I could also use to stand where I am right now and look towards the balcony. So,
Something I do like is that they removed most of the railing here, up here. So when you come around this corner, you already have a good overview of
yeah.
what's beyond.
I wonder if it wouldn't be too ridiculous to... Yeah, I think timing-wise, I could probably... Well, let's test that. I want to test... If you go towards the balcony from your spawn, we'll do the test at 46:05. And I want to do this, see if I can get in a position before you. So, go. Yeah. I'm assuming you didn't even hear me.
Nope.
So that's pretty powerful because basically I got up here and I could hear you full running. So
Okay, so potential engagement we could already have here.
yeah. If I wanted to go down here, which I wouldn't really ever want to.
Weird engagement.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go down there. That whole area feels really bad to me. But up here, like,
yeah, up here feels safe.
Yeah. Like I could actually hold here for a headshot angle as you're coming up if you don't expect me, but that's probably better for you. So I would just do something like this, like a slight off angle with you coming up the stairs.
Yeah.
And that would probably be enough. I'm just trying to think like I do feel like this whole side approach does feel pretty bad, to be honest, with the
It's a little bit lengthy.
yeah.
Like maybe spawn was over here before.
Oh, you can do this, which is pretty nice.
Was a better idea.
I wouldn't have expected this just because of how restrictive the map is otherwise.
That's cool. Oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah. Because if you're unsuccessful with an engagement over here, because you flash yourself, then that would be...
Or you plant the bomb here, retreat through this little alley, and then fairly safely go up to the heaven position. I like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so there's some nice angles and nice gameplay spaces, but I do feel like still some of the more interesting elevation aspects are obviously not anywhere near here, and in general the map feels very claustrophobic.
Yeah. Can we check the timings on this area here?
Yeah, sure. I'll do from CT. We can go at 43, 45. All right, go. Yeah, so I'll see you crossing.
Yeah, I can already throw nades towards you though.
Right.
So I'm at an advantage here.
Yeah, for me, I wouldn't be able to... I would be able to... I think I would be able to do something like that. And the flash pops somewhere over here.
Mm-hmm.
Which would get you.
Yeah, totally, but I can already, like back from here, I can already smoke if I wanted to.
Oh
or
yeah,
mult.
true.
Like that feels very comfortable for me to approach. Apart from those bollards.
I guess the problem is that I could still manage to like jump out into this lower area, but
Which is fine.
yeah, even so, you can still just like isolate me that way if you hear me. Like you would specifically want to smoke like here and not here, because you'd want to be able to keep track of whether or not a CT has come through. So. I don't know. I feel like I like the elevation drop down here, but I don't like how long it is, and I don't like how little gameplay space you have surrounding it, where you can't go this way at all, and it feels very open. You can't ever go into this parking lot, even though it is so very open, and it would just be nice to have a bit more like gameplay clarity from the visuals themselves. But yeah, overall, I think I could see a world where this map would have some fun engagements. It just feels a bit weird. Like you have to get onto the bomb site and then still be a 2v2. It feels like, which seems really unlikely.
Yeah, it feels very focused on the choke points.
Yeah.
Rather than the bomb site. But the engagements themselves, or the possibilities how to play an engagement, seem fairly interesting in comparison to what we've seen so far.
Yeah, absolutely. This is probably the best map for elevation and interesting engagements so far. I don't think I have much more to say on it. Seems like a pretty like reasonable map. I think it would be significantly better if it was less cramped and had a bit more gameplay freedom, but it's all right.
A little bit more space in some areas would be nice.
Yeah, you barely have enough space for one person, let alone two. So.
Yeah.
Like even this ladder is kind of like that, where I can easily get
the
stuck.
ladder and then the entrance to that.
Yeah, the whole entrance to the balcony.
That window here.
Yeah, and then this area as well is like one person really. But yeah, so I've said my piece. I don't know if you have any final words.
Nope. I like it.
All right. Let's head on over to Sawmill then. I've also heard reasonable things about Sawmill, so that'll be interesting. I don't know if you've heard anything about this one.
I've checked it out, yeah. It has improved since the submission, I think. Specifically in terms of performance. I think it was very laggy before, but they fixed it.
It crashed me anyway, so I gotta reload.
Right.
All right, let's do it.
Ooh, I just saw all of these mirrored maps in your map list. They give me such a headache. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Can't do it.
They're good for cheap fun, basically, because it's just a bizarre like experience. This is more of a realistic map by the looks of things.
Yep.
Sawmill by Fewseb. I want to know what's up with this skybox. It looks like a cratered mountain or something. That's just some BSP terrain by the looks of it.
Looks a little weird, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting some loss running around the map, so it doesn't look like performance was really fixed, but maybe improved. Oh yeah, tons of drop in this area.
Oh, where the trees are?
Yep.
Hmm.
I'm guessing that's why. This is a very big CT spawn. Nice and roomy.
I like it though.
This kind of reminds me of one of the first maps that we looked at, which was Pithead. Pithead had a bit of a more, like, Pithead had source water, if you remember, but a similar kind of aesthetic.
Was... Oh yes, I know now. Yes, absolutely. I know
It's
what
a
you
bit
mean.
brighter than this map, but
Yeah.
similar kind of earthy, like, well-worn aesthetic. This one's a bit more detailed in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's necessary to have wasted away all of the text over here. Looks a bit aggressive. The only question is...
Yes. The answer is yes.
So, the only other question is... Can I activate it? Make it move back and forth?
Not to my knowledge.
None of those controls work.
Not to my knowledge. But something about the map, like I really appreciate the fact that I can jump up here.
Yeah, sure. Big fan
I
of
think it's-
all those.
It feels very smooth too.
Yeah, even though it's 4 jumps, because you're kind of changing angles halfway between, it feels a bit more broken up in that respect.
Yeah.
Oops. Destroyed.
The distance between those two is big enough that you can like bunny hop it in a way, which feels very satisfying actually.
Yeah. That didn't work the way I thought it would. Bunny hop this!
Oh. Sawing yourself another butt crack.
Yeah. Why stop at having only one? So the question then is, you can't really update it, but it does. Is it just a bit of a gimmick, do you think, or is there like, I don't imagine there's real gameplay associated with that. That's probably, people would probably just get pissed off because they would walk into it accidentally, even though he made it pretty hard to.
I mean,
Like you could walk right up like this and not get
Yeah.
sawed. Yeah.
Yeah.
You-
You can only when you come from this side, basically. Or when you step on top of it. It did happen though that people die on that or like get some significant damage in games. I've watched a few games played on it. I think it was in the Mapcore Hub for
Yeah,
a little while.
That's probably one of the reasons why I know about it, because I must have saw a tweet about it. or
Yeah.
something.
And I've seen people get hit by it, so it happens. Like this whole area is fairly cramped, and if there's a smoke,
Oh, I didn't
or
even
you're
think
flashed
about
or
a
whatever.
smoke. Yeah.
like you lose orientation and you run into it. Potentially, like I can't do it on purpose now, but you, oh,
There you go.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I was trying to as well. Didn't really work out.
Yeah, the map also seems very polished in terms of visuals.
Yeah.
I feel like feels very official in a way.
Sure, yeah.
Despite there not being a whole lot of custom assets that I could point out. I'm not sure. I don't want to
Well, you never want to offend somebody by saying, "Yeah, there's no custom assets here." In reality, there's
yeah,
like
right.
100.
I mean, people said that about Guard too. They were like, "Oh, that's just standard assets," and it's not. Like, I don't know if that wood is like all custom, but it seems like it belongs to Counter-Strike. So
Yeah. So even if it's not like,
if it's not stock, then good job.
yeah, because it feels like it belongs. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I guess people just don't realize that Guard makes use of entirely vanilla assets like the Crow poster, which is actually added officially by Valve in the game, of course. So. That was,
No, there are definitely some custom assets here. Now to take a closer look.
Yeah.
Like this log and the crane with it seem custom.
I'm not sure how this map would actually play is the thing.
Yeah, so I feel like that the engagement distance is a little bit short.
Yeah.
Feels like I can play every part of this map with an MP7 and be just fine, or MP9.
Yeah. I don't even have any long-range engagements to show off my Nova skills.
Not many, at least.
Yeah, I guess there's stuff like this. It's pretty long. But that's literally on to spawn, so... Oh,
yeah, but you will never have an engagement like that, or very rarely. Like, I would rather have the engagement when I peek around here. And that's already much closer.
Yeah.
I think the longest angle you can have is here on upper.
Yeah. Well, it's this area, or it would be like holding outside from upper.
Yeah.
I do enjoy hearing that sound. It's too bad that there aren't 40 spawns per team on this map.
All the bots just running into the saw.
Yeah, just perpetual. And there's not even any clip, like there's casual clipping where you can stand on somebody's head, but you pass right through them otherwise, in my game mode too. So you just have them all getting sawed to death simultaneously. Yeah, this is one of the many maps, I guess, that I've seen in this Wingman contest that I would really like to see a version of that is a full defuse map, basically, is what I'm thinking. It feels like the style works. I don't mind the gimmick about the saw. I think it's kind of interesting as a calling card. Yeah, maybe it could... I actually expected it to deal more damage, but maybe it could deal less damage per tick or something. I don't know. It's pretty generous, though, I feel like, already, for it being literally a saw. And then, I don't know, maybe... I think this is an area where mappers are, like, kind of creatively, like, not interested in, but it would be nice to have interactable shit, like... There was that map that we looked at a while back, Rift, the desert map with all the weird, crazy shit. And one of the things that you could do is like change the direction of the conveyor belt. And like I think interactable things like that, like being able to turn off the saw or being able to rotate it to the other side, like start going back and forth, like building it into part of the level. And then that's almost like a mini objective where you kind of fight over control of it. Like, it's kind of a silly example because it's a saw, but maybe it's something that has a bit more gameplay impact.
Yeah, I get the point.
Like, maybe it's an automated turret or something, or maybe it's a...
It's a platform that you can move, and the platform is actually the bomb site.
Yeah. Now you're thinking with me.
I'm thinking with bottles.
Well, Valorant has portals, I guess, but
What's that?
Valorant? You don't know what it is?
No.
Yeah, it's probably better that you don't. It's like Vertigo, but the whole game. What else do we got? No, I think that's it. I mean, this map is pretty nice. Yeah. I would like to play on it. I would like to play a full diffuse version of it. If you had to, if you were making a map and your goal was like to make me buy in and say, like, we want people to support us for a full version, like, hell yeah, dude, do it. But I imagine this is probably it. So this is really by one guy?
I think so, yeah.
That's pretty impressive too.
Yeah.
Hats off to Fewseb, homie.
I also like how the three different... So we basically have three different areas. We have the upper, we have the bomb site, and the outside area. Mm-hmm. And they all feel very different.
Yeah, generally. Distinct. And there's distinct elevations. Even within outside especially, there's distinct elevations at play. So.
And yet they all make sense together in one map.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, a sign that the theme is very well executed, generally.
Agreed. So there you go. I guess that's that, to be honest. I'm looking forward to seeing what else this Fewseb guy's got up his sleeve. What does he got cooking? Does anybody know him? Get him in the chat, get him on the phone, tell him to make more maps.
I actually don't know.
He's somebody I'd never heard of in the mapping community until essentially this map, right? So.
No, I've seen his name floating around.
Yeah, I figure you probably would have because you're more involved.
I couldn't tell you what else he made, to be honest. But that might just be ignorant me.
Well, maybe he'll be in the comments later. So I guess that's that. Unless you have some other thoughts on this one. I see you're ringing the bell.
I just found something interactive. Having fun.
I'm throwing a grenade.
Impressive. The grenade impact does not make the bell sound, but the grenade going off does.
Grenade. Fire in the hole.
There you go. Oh shit.
Oh. Hello. Now that's interactive. You're gonna break it. You're gonna make the server crash.
Maybe. Perfect. Yeah, I need to regain my FPS now. Well, I shouldn't have gone outside for that. I think it's permanently fucked. Is that a strat? Can you all throw grenades at this at the start of the round and then the worst PC breaks? That's your strat to win?
The server breaks.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Oh, maybe it is the server, yeah. I don't know. Pretty good. No, I think that's pretty much it. Nice map, Fewseb. Good job. And put more interactive shit in the map. All right, that's it. It's a pretty solid stream, I think. I think we'll sit on this one for a little bit, and then maybe next week or something. I don't know if you have any availability, but maybe we'll be back sooner than expected. Sooner than the last time.
Sure thing.
We got to finish off. How many more maps do we have? We just did 6, and then we have removed 1. So that's 7 of the 19. So we've got 12. So in theory, 2 more streams we will be done. Could be.
Sounds good.
Could be a real thing. So thanks again, poLemin, for joining us for the stream. And
thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. We'll see you back soon, I'm sure.